What is going on, guys? It's Dipped in Mixtape here. I'm just casually playing some Final Fantasy. All rights reserved to Square Enix and the creators of this game. I do not own anything in this video. I play this game for fun. Now, it is early in the morning. It's about 10. You know, just playing casually, doing some hunts. Kind of new to YouTube. I'm not really sure. I guess my channel will grow as time goes by. But I want to talk about some things. Life changes. Life always changes, you know. People go through things. Things happen. Some things you can't control. And a lot of times you end up trying to figure things out for yourself. It's very wise to listen to your elders when they tell you about, you know, finish school and make a career and have goals. That stuff is not for sure. Those things are very important. I somewhat listen, but certain circumstances changed, and I didn't know how to handle those circumstances. So I ended up in a couple of setbacks, and what I'm getting at is that, you know, it's very important to have an education, simply because you never know. Emergency situations, such as, say you're staying with a parent and a relative dies, and you no longer have anyone who you can live with. You're about 20 years old and stuff. You're 20 years old, you're practically an adult, and you don't have no education. Your luck in finding a job that will compensate for the loss that you gain is very, very slim. It's basically going to take pure luck for you to even find a decent job. Say you have say you pay rent and you own a house. You pay rent for 12 months. You're 4 months into your contract, and say you lose your job. You make like $12 an hour, you lose your job. Now you gotta scramble and figure out how you gonna pay your bills. You know, you can file unemployment, things of that nature, but nothing such as unemployment or government assistance will compensate for the loss. Because again, if you were like making $15 an hour and you had $15 an hour, I say about $700 a month, one bedroom apartment. You live by yourself. Okay, you don't have any friends really. You have a couple family members, but you're trying to find a new job. It's the end of the month. It's the first of the month. You don't have your rent money because you got fired right before you had to pay rent. So of course you may or may not want to pay rent. But say you needed to pay other utilities such as your phone bill in case a job company calls you. You need your phone on, right? You need food. So it's as if, you know, rent is the riskiest thing, because then you'll have rent, but you won't have food. So it chooses between two. Maybe there's other people who are smarter in that sense. But say you decide not to pay your rent because you need to take care of your other utilities, such as your phone bill, because your phone is important. And you have a child, maybe. So you use your money, your last paycheck for that, and you don't pay your rent. So a month goes by, you're searching and you're searching, and mind you, it usually takes a lot longer to find a job that can at least help you catch up. Because going from $15 to minimum wage about $7.50 it's just a significant difference. And the more time it takes for you to find a job, the longer it takes for you to catch back up. So you end up losing your house, you can't even pay your phone at this point. You can't really buy yourself food, and you're kind of on the verge of like relying on government assistance in order to get back on your feet. I believe that struggle isn't as hard when you have an education, simply because you have more of an increase in what you can do. Or there's different types of degrees out there, and many places require certain degrees. But if you have no degree and you have zero experience, and you have mainly only experience in that job that you held for so long, may or may not affect how long it takes for you to find a good job. Now the question is, how strong of a person can you be? Like, it is kind of difficult when you struggle because you're depressed that when you have no education, it's hard to find a job, and you don't really know how things are going to turn out. Like, you're just hoping for luck, and you might have like references or resources from your job, but even having that is very difficult. So you're basically stuck down to hoping that someone just see you like out of the corner of their eye by luck, and just decide that you'll be the person to pick the job of whatever it is. And my advice would be never work retail, ever. Retail is horrible unless you're doing management of retail. You don't want to be a stock person working retail. Your work schedule is horrible. There's not very much room for growth. No, you don't want to work retail unless you have a degree. See, you have a degree to work in that department and gain some good stuff from working retail. I mean, I don't know. I personally can't work retail. I don't think it's wise to look forward to working retail unless you have some sort of education or skill in management or being promoted very quickly, because it takes a lot to be promoted. You don't just simply go to a job and work hard every day and come to work on time every day and you just get promoted. No, promotion takes skill and knowledge of the company, and you don't go to school for these things, you don't learn these things. So you're basically just going out on a limb and hoping. So the best advice will be to get as much of an education that you can, because education is very important. I dropped out of high school in the 11th grade. I had a child. His mother ended up finishing school, but I dropped out because one of us had to provide for the child. Like, if we both go to school, who's going to get the Pampers and things? So I took that and I dropped out, and I told her to stay in school. I'll be the one to drop out, and then later I'll go back to school, which that didn't end up happening. She graduated high school, and I had a nice job for a long time, and you know, things happen, situations change, and I got laid off. So I ended up struggling, and then me and her ended up not together. So she has the high school education, she has the new, I guess, quote unquote boyfriend, and I have my own place. She doesn't. I have my own place and bills to pay, but yet I currently can't pay those bills because of my situation of trying to find a job. So I created a YouTube channel as maybe a possible source of income. It's not my primary target. I know it's a lot of work into this YouTube thing in order to even make money off of YouTube, but my goal is to do YouTube because I like it. You know, I really want to try out being a YouTuber. I think it'll be cool. But mostly I'll make sure my channel is about educational things and fun. And this game, I really love this game. It's currently the only game that I play. I currently own a Wii U. I had an Xbox, but I'm not really an Xbox fan anymore. So I play PlayStation 4 now, and I'm usually online playing this like 99% of the day. I'm sorry, I had a long night, so I've been up all night. But I'm usually playing this 99% of the time, so I'm very tired. But yeah, but things don't always end badly. Life changes every day, all day. You know, you can have the most fanciest car for 20 years straight, have an amazing career, and out of nowhere things can change forever. You can end up with $0 every day, no possibility of even finding a new job. That's just how things happen sometimes. That's just bottom line. Things happen, situations happen, and you know, you never know how things will turn out. You know, you meet certain people, some people could be using you, they end up bringing you down, or you never know. It's like relationships are, you gotta be very picky on who you choose to have relationships with. Friendships, romantic relationships, those type of things you have to be very cautious of, because certain lifestyles bring certain people about. And you know, you can meet someone who you thought really cared about you. You would spend the rest of your life with them, and they had so many red flags, but you ignored that red flag. Like you saw that they had like attitude problems, or they were selfish in the beginning, and you just brushed it off like, okay, I'm not gonna pay that no mind. But later on down the road, it'll really affect you, and you'll really see that you really made a huge mistake on dealing with certain people. Because a lot of people out there, if you're doing well for yourself and you meet someone, a beautiful person, you meet them, and they don't have much going for themselves, they could end up dragging you down. Or maybe you could be the type of person that's very giving and very caring, and you just like to help other people, and you like to do things. Say you're in a relationship and you're like, okay, my money is your money, so whenever they ask for something, you give it to them. But you overlook sometimes, in the beginning, you overlook how when you ask them to do certain things for you, they say no, and you're just like, alright, fine, I don't need you to do it. But then over time, it'll start becoming a habit to them. And they'll feel like you have to do this for them. You have to give them this, you have to give them that. And you don't want life to be like that. You don't want to regret meeting someone. You don't want to regret spending your hard-earned money and your time on someone who never cared about you. That's the worst feeling in the world. If you meet someone and you really thought they cared about you and they had a dark motive all along, that is the most painful feeling any caring person could ever feel. And I've recently experienced that. I met a very beautiful girl, very, very beautiful, and you know, we talked for almost a year. It was a whole year before we actually claimed it as a relationship. And in this time, we were just friends, you know. We would hang out every now and then. We would talk on the phone every single day, every day, you know. And then I realized she had a boyfriend, but we would kind of talk about being in a relationship. So like I find out that she's like living with her boyfriend and things of that sort. And she would tell me that she wasn't living with him, but she really was. So I ignored it. I'm like, maybe I'm just going too far. I mean, if we're gonna be in a relationship, then I don't have to worry about this guy. Yep. So I thought. So, I mean, she ended up moving back with her mom. She never told me why. But I ended up getting my own place because we've been talking for over a year. And we were talking like, oh, I'm going to get my own place. And she was like, oh, I'm going to be cooking for you. We're going to be laying up and this and that. And, you know, I'm believing that. And I'm like, okay. Maybe, because remind you, I never called her. Like, I never called her first. I never texted her first. She would text me good morning every day, all day. She would talk to me nonstop. She'd get mad if I didn't answer her phone calls. You know, so I'm really thinking, you know, maybe once, for this one time in my life, I don't have to chase someone because they want me. They want me for me. And so I thought that she wanted me for me. So, I ended up getting my own place, thinking that, you know, we're going to be together. You know, we're going to live together and maybe start a family. Time went by, you know, she started acting suspicious, you know. Come to find out, she was still dealing with one of her exes. I don't know if she was dealing with them sexually, but they would come and see her. And, like, she wouldn't tell me about it. She would lie about it. She had other guy friends, you know, and it became a real big issue now. In my eyes, I feel like maybe she wasn't messing around with me, and maybe I just kept being insecure. But at some point, I felt like I'm not being insecure because over and over again, like, I would just kept getting signs. I would read things like signs that someone's cheating on you, like signs someone doesn't want to be with you anymore. I would read stuff like that. Maybe it was my insecurity that set in. But like, she stopped wearing the jewelry that I bought her. She wore it literally every single day. A necklace that I bought her on Valentine's Day. She wore it every single day. And one day she just stopped wearing it. And from then she just stopped wearing it. And I asked her, why you don't wear my necklace? And she said, oh, it broke, this and that. It wasn't really logical, but I just didn't kind of think anything of it. And then she stopped wanting to spend time with me. Like, it became an everyday argument every time I wanted to spend time with her. And at the time when I was working, it's like, she knew when I got paid. So whenever I would get paid, she would be like, oh, I need money to do this, to do that. And I'd be like, okay, you're my girlfriend. Like, maybe I'm just a fucking blind, stupid idiot. But in my eyes, I was figuring, you know, we're in a relationship, so it's okay for me to do that. I want to provide for my woman, which I believe is okay if you provide for your woman. But I didn't see these flags. But looking at it now, when I told her I lost my job, things changed dramatically. Like, she stopped wanting to come around. She was never supportive at all. Like, she didn't sympathize with the fact that I lost my job. She stopped calling me every day, stopped asking me how I was. I would ask, you want to go this place? You want to go to the movie? She'd be like, oh, I don't want to go see this. I don't want to do that. And more and more, she would just spend less time with me. But whenever she needed money, she would come around. And now looking at it this day, one day she was just like, oh, I don't want to do this no more. And we broke up, and a couple weeks later, I like call her or text her and like, what are you doing? What's up? How you been? And she's just like, oh, I'm chilling with my friend. So I'm like, okay, you chilling with your friend? And I'm thinking to myself, think about it, no human being who ever really actually cared about someone is just gonna up and leave. It don't matter how hard things get. No one is going to just up and leave a relationship. Only reason someone will leave a relationship is because they met someone who can help them get over that relationship. So the thing in question I had was, like, was she talking to this guy all along? Is this one of the guys who I've assumed, not actually known that this specific guy, but like, was my accusations correct all along that she was talking to someone or seeing someone outside of me? Is why her behavior changed towards me. But I mean, if you cared about me, why do you have a new friend all of a sudden? I thought you really cared about me, you know what I mean? And I'm puzzled. I'm looking back, I'm just like, I did so much for that girl. And I didn't deserve her just turning her back on me when things got tougher. And that's why I say, you have to rely solely on yourself. You have to be careful of the company you keep. You have to be very cautious of the type of people you deal with. Because you can meet a person and think they would care about you, and they have evil intentions. They don't care about you genuinely. They may care about what you can do for them. They don't care about you as a human being. And they'll lie to you. They'll call you bae and everything. They'll call you and text you every day and pretend like they care, and they really don't care about you. And you have to be very careful, You have to guard your heart with everything in you. And you have to ensure that you don't allow anyone to use you. Now, mistakes happen. We fall for things. We're human beings. That's understandable. But you have to be very careful of whose company you keep. Because people could be lying to you. They could be using you. And I don't want anyone to go through what I go through, So every now and then I'll try to be like educational and give people advice. I know there's plenty of channels out there that give people like relationship advice on, what to do if you suspect the spouse is cheating, or how to get over the ex, Those kinds of channels, I see them everywhere. And I'd like to help. I'd like to help people in situations similar to mine. By the way, this is the A7S dummy. I'm murking the hell out this thing. But my channel mainly going to be Final Fantasy based. But yeah, this was just a rant video. So I'll be back later on with a video when I'm doing some more interesting content, you know, for the sake of having fun. By the way, if you play this game, I'm on the Gilgamesh server. My name is Dipped in Mixtape, and peace out.